We have the story from People. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and not Neil Young. I don't know. Crosby, Stills, and Nash music is back on Spotify months after Joe Rogan boycott. So the big story was that, Joe Rogan, this compilation went viral and everyone was calling Joe Rogan racist and all that. He apologized for it. But all of these people were like, I'm taking my music off of Spotify. And Crosby, Still, and Nash, as well as Neil Young, they did. And they're back. That's it. They're back. Actually, Neil Young, I guess half his music stayed on because he didn't own it anyway. That was actually really funny. Oh. But this is really important. It shows you the depth of their values. None. Shallow. Not even an inch deep. They did this because it was major press. Let me tell you guys. When I was doing the Occupy Wall Street stuff, I had all of these companies hitting me up being like, we want to give you all these things. We want to, hire you. And I'm like, yeah. Something happened in the press. You want to put out your press release and be like, this guy's with us now so you can get free press off of somebody else. I'm not interested. That's all they did. These guys they probably had a manager who was like, guys, now's your chance. It's big in the news. It's Joe Rogan. He's the biggest podcaster. Come out, say some, we'll craft some line for you. We'll take your music down for a couple months. We'll quietly put it back up. No one will say anything. You'll get tons of press. People will buy tickets to your shows. That's it. That's American politics. Politics is pop culture. People are losing their minds. They're throwing bricks at each other's faces because of dumb people like this.
I mean, an alternative explanation could be that they just didn't realize that it would have ultimately no impact on whether or not Joe Rogan stayed at Spotify.
Who is making more money for Spotify?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Or this folk group that nobody's heard of?
They're really famous.
They were.
They are, but I mean, anymore? How much money are they making off of streams?
I mean,
anywhere close to Joe Rogan?
That's
no.
right. That's the right point.
From the demographics that are actually watching and listening to Spotify,
They realized
particularly.
Spotify didn't care about their overinflated egos. And they came crawling back and then saying that they're going to give their proceeds to charity for COVID-19 disinformation.
To me, that seems like a very soft landing for them to return, to say, well, we're not doing this for ourselves. We're just doing this for everybody else.
I don't know why they left to begin with. Neil Young was the thorn, and he probably called Stills, Nash, and Crosby and was like, dudes, we got to stop something, my politics. And they're like, well, Neil knows what he's talking about. All right, Neil, we got your back. And then they left, and they're like, what are we doing? This is ridiculous.
I mean, anybody who
Neil left the band anyway.
Anybody who knows anything about Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young is that they've always been ardent authoritarians supporting the machine and the government. This is par for the course for who they represent.
Through their music?
Their song "4 Dead in Ohio" about the Kent State shootings
in support of it
was all about supporting the shooting.
Love that.
Yeah. I mean, they're about the most anti-authoritarian band in the 70s.
No, but
one of them.
One of the comments on this article was about the fact that they're baby boomers, and baby boomers are all about having the appearance of being freedom fighting underdogs, but they're actually totally pro system.
I wonder if it's like when you're younger, you just give the middle finger to the previous generation, and then when you're older, you're
I
give it to the next
something
generation.
They started.
Right.
I don't think it was ever like that before. Didn't the baby boomers start that?
I don't think so. I mean, there's that joke from The Simpsons we like to reference where Abe Simpson is like, I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what it is scary. You know that bit? And then he's like, and it'll happen to you too.
Radio radicalized the youth of the time, and then TV. It was the TV generation finally was like, look at what we are. We can't have men beating women. That's not normal. We got to fix something about society. Because in the TV shows, they'd be smacking and smacking. And they're like, wow, what have we become?